Hi,
My name's J.C. McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
All right, my friends, once again, it's time to get our talk on. It's Morning Talk with me, your host, J.C. McCauley, along with the champions of talk. There they are on your screen in Studio 1A this morning. Cleo Duke-Wright, talk champion in the house. Good morning, Miss Cleo. How are you?
Good morning. I'm pretty good. Pretty good this morning.
How was your week?
As usual. A lot to do. It was a busy week, but it was a pretty good week.
All right. Now, you preachified not this Sunday past, but the last.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I did.
Preachify.
Preachified.
Yeah, it used to be
Is that a word, Stan?
Hartford politician used to use that. John O'Connell. You remember John O'Connell?
Yes. Yes, I do. Seeing him, I didn't know him.
Yeah. He said he used that once. He said he was visiting a church in the North End, and they started to preachifying. I always thought that was kind of funny. John O'Connell, Republican, Irishman, and preachifying. That too funny. Too funny. Yeah. So, pretty good week. Busy week. Very, very busy week. It's been getting a lot busier lately.
Well, for me, also, I've, taking people back and forth to physical therapy, and sometimes they're on the same day, and did you do this and do that? Yes, it's been physically, but I have been really trying not to stay off my ankle.
How is your ankle? As I recall last week, you could barely walk.
It's all right. It's if I run all day, it's not too good at night. Even with support, it's not too good. So I have to not run all day, not dance, because with my young man, we dance and
he likes to dance.
Yes, and we make up songs. And we make up songs when we're in the car. Make up songs when we're in the house. And some of these songs we've been singing for years. And he just starts singing them, and oh my gosh! And then, come on, Cleo, come on, let's sing. So we sing the songs, and he likes to pray. At mealtime, he likes to say hallelujah. And he taps his head, and he says, "Pray, Cleo, pray." And he taps his head because I always have my hand on his head when I pray, when we say grace and we bless people and everything. So he likes it. But he never does it around it. Like if his mother's in the house, he would not do that. If his brothers or somebody's in the house, he wouldn't do it. As soon as they leave, he wants to pray. Pray, Cleo, pray.
They may not be prayers.
They
don't engage in prayer.
Yeah,
probably.
And he's Jewish. So when I first started praying with him, I didn't know what to say in Jesus' name. I said, should I say amen? Because they don't have Jesus. They don't, But I just say in Jesus' name anyway, because, I got over that. So we pray, and he hallelujahs, and I'm sure he does it when I'm not there, and his family just sort of looks at him, but, it's a very, very, very tight family, all around. I mean, extended family, everything, they're very tight. So he can't. He doesn't say a prayer. He just wants me to say the prayer. He says, they say, oh, he must have learned that from Cleo. Oh, Cleo must do that. So, yeah, actually brightens your day, even when you're feeling down and don't feel like doing anything. When he starts saying, let's say goodbye to the house, and we say, and sing these songs that we made up, and it just makes it feel good. Makes me feel good. Cheers me up a little bit. Sometimes I don't feel like singing, but yeah.
If you're around happy people will make you happy, even if you don't want to be happy.
Yes, they make you.
They'll make you happy.
Yes, they do. They make you smile.
Pets make you happy. They're trying to get me to give in and get a pet, a dog or a cat, and so
Well, I love dogs. I've had lots of dogs, but it's my cats who understand me. It's my cat who constantly walks with me around the house, and who, when I'm feeling bad, lays down with me and puts his paw on me, and and I talk to him, and he looks at me, and I told you to get down, and he just looks at me. I said, get down, I point down, and he looks at me. Let me take a step. He's off he moves. But we spray him with water when he's disobeying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cats don't particularly shine up the water too good.
Not the older cat though. I never spray her. I just leave her alone, because she will have her way, and she's gonna be who she is, and she doesn't care what you say, she doesn't care what you do. She's the boss, and that's it. So I just don't bother her. I pet her until she gives me the then I leave her alone. But the other one, he's very playful, jumps all over the house, jumps on top. He was on this bookcase. It was up near the ceiling. I don't know how this cat, he flies through the air. He flies over chairs. Of course, he's young. He flies over chairs, and he loves, the chair that goes like this, that moves back and forth, that tall one, a desk chair. He flies on the top of that, and the chair goes like this, and he just holds on tight, and just, then he flies off. So sometimes it gets a little much, but he'll get older. He's only a year. He'll get older, and he'll kind of settle down. But no matter when I get up in the middle of the night, he's right there. And then he stands at the door and looks around while when I'm in the bathroom, and looks around like he's guarding, the door. So when you talk to him, he looks at you, and he pays attention. Not always dogs. I don't know. Dogs are, and he hits you when he wants something. He goes and gets you, and he's just nice, Pet me now. So then you gotta pet him, So yeah, I really, and then you could leave them by themselves. Cats. For a day, and not have any terrible. You don't have to walk them.
Yeah, that's the problem with the dog. The dog, you have to walk the dog every day.
Twice a day.
Several times a day.
Yeah.
And so my kids are trying to get me to get a dog, and of course they've gotten the help of their mom to try and also
You're gonna have
put
to
the
walk
squeeze. And I said, well, I'm not walking the dog. Well, he'll walk the dog. I said, oh yeah. You won't clean your room. How you gonna walk the dog? So
My
so
father got me a dog.
I see me walking the dog. I could see me walking the dog in the snow, in the cold, in the rain. When they don't feel like walking the dog, or they got to do homework. Oh, I got band practice. All kinds of excuses will start popping up. And then, of course, I'll have to be the one to walk the dog. And then, of course, I'm up all night. So it's going to be my dog.
And that's what I was going to say.
It's going to be my dog.
The dog is going to be the one that picks the person that they like the best and who they're going to follow. And that'll be that person's dog, whether they like it or not.
Right.
And that's my cat is my cat. And everybody knows he's my cat. You walk in the house and you know he's my cat. Mm-hmm. Because where I go, he goes. And I'm never in a room without him.
See, they're not home. They go to school all day.
It's your dog. It's gonna be your dog.
I have to walk the dog during the day, and it'll be my dog. The dog would be in here right now.
Yep.
Sitting right there.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And so so I'm kind of maybe thinking maybe about the kind of dog, but and cats are nice. I've had cats and dogs when I was younger, when I was a kid. So we had cats and dogs and rabbit, hamsters, turtle.
Oh, I did
goldfish, everything imaginable that you could have in the house at one time or another.
Bird. I had a
bird.
I had a parakeet, and name was Jerry. And when the parakeet
the
died,
parakeet's name was Jerry.
The parakeet's name was Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
And one time I came home and he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I must have been 12. I got him when I was about 8, so he died just before I got the dog, maybe 13. Mm-hmm. Oh, I had a fit. So at Westbrook Village, these little hilly parts.
Mm-hmm.
So my my dad said, "Come on, let's go bury Jerry."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "We're gonna bury Jerry." So we were allowed to be children then.
Mm-hmm.
They were a 13-year-old probably wouldn't do this, or a 12-year-old probably wouldn't now. But my father walked me up this little hill, and he dug a little hole, and we said a prayer or something, and that was it. But that's what he said. Come on, Cleo, let's go bury the bird. So we buried the bird. And then when I was 14, he got me a dog, which I knew that I would just walk and love and everything, and I hated walking him.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated that he smacked at night. You know how dogs
when they eat, they're licking their chops and
yes. And I had both my kids before. Her name was Jinx. I had both my kids before she passed. I think she had dementia because she started roaming, not knowing where she was, and And my cat Lois I had for 19 years.
Lois.
Yes, and I was, oh God, when she went, that was just like terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But she knew everything, and she ruled the dogs and she ruled the cats in the house, and nobody messed with her.
Mm-hmm.
Cause she slapped them cats in a minute if they were out of control, and she'd jump on those dogs' backs and put her claws in them, and they ran from her. Yeah. So I'm a cat person.
Last night I was we were at obligatory band. Let me let you listen to this. Where is this? If I Yeah, I can't show it to you, but I can let you listen to it. That's when every parent has to go with their children for the band for the school, the band concert.
Yes.
This was the 8th grade band. They were actually tell what they were playing.
I thought they were warming up.
Well, that's what the whole time sounds like them. They're warming up. Every parent that has a kid that's ever played an instrument has been to one of these. And it's priceless. Because, of course, all the parents are there. Yeah, everybody's clapping for their kids. They're taking pictures and waving. And
I did that with my granddaughter.
Thank you. It was fun. It was fun. You go and the kids want a pet. You have band, and you go, and then you get the kids that do sports, football, track and field, gymnastics, volleyball, tennis, basketball, whatever it is they do. And if they get in like in the 10th grade or the 8th grade, you're there until the end of high school. All the games, all the practices. Then you're driving them from place to place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our kids are getting to that age now. Although they're not involved in any sports. So I don't have to worry about taking them from place to place. At least not yet.
My grandchildren are in soccer, and they go all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest granddaughter, she got to be a referee. So she would, when she got older, so she went around. The little one is now she's going around.
Mm-hmm.
And they're into basketball. They didn't like basketball, and all three of us, me and my siblings, we were all great at basketball. And we were so excited when they started playing basketball, but they didn't like it. So
they
like
how something's wrong with those children. They don't like basketball.
They didn't like basketball, but they were pretty good at it. But the little one, she says, "Oh well, Grandma, I like soccer and baseball." They never played baseball. My grandchildren never played baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I took my little one to. We played in Elizabeth Park. We played baseball. I said, "You don't know how to play baseball?" And I have one of those wiffle bats.
Yeah, wiffle ball.
And some balls.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Come on, let's play some baseball." So we played baseball, and when we finished, she said to me, "Grandma, that's a lot of work." She says, "That's just too much work." It's the only time I ever played baseball with her.
Too much work. Now, does she mean having to run or swing the bat or throw the ball or catch the ball?
I have no idea. I didn't ask her what she meant. But there was only the two of us playing.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to do everything. So maybe that was it. I don't know. But she said, "Grandma, that's a lot of work."
Now, is she involved in any sport? This is not the one that likes soccer, is it?
Yeah, they both are in soccer. They both like soccer, and they go to all these. Soccer is moving constantly.
I can't understand how baseball. Soccer is a lot of work.
Soccer is a lot more.
You running around and kicking the ball and
right.
Banging up against people.
Yep, but she thought baseball. I guess because you had to catch, you were up to bat, you were in the field. I have no idea why she said it was so much work. I never liked soccer. They introduced us to us when I was in high school. I didn't like it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I watched my grandchildren play soccer.
Yeah, soccer. I don't remember us ever doing soccer. We did.
It wasn't a big
crab soccer in gym. I don't know if you remember. Did you ever have crab soccer?
No.
We had crabs. You walk around facing up, but your feet are underneath you and your hands are underneath you, and you have to kick the ball.
Are you sitting down?
You're like sitting down. It's like if you were to be on the ground and get up and walk,
Mm-hmm.
and you kick the ball. It was this huge ball. It was big,
Like an earth ball? It's bigger than an earth ball?
like a beach ball.
Oh, beach ball, okay.
But maybe 4 times the size of a beach ball.
That sounds like an earth ball.
Earth ball, okay.
Okay.
And it was seemed to me to have like a canvas.
Yeah, that's
Canvas.
an earth.
You call it earth ball?
Yes.
Okay, crab. We used to just call it a crab soccer ball. I don't know, maybe earth ball. But that, tennis, track, football, basketball, football was real big.
Yeah.
I was not on the football team, but
I
we
guess
played.
you weren't.
We played football as kids
Oh.
all the time.
Your parents wouldn't have let you play football, would they?
Well, they let me play like football with the other kids.
You were too little.
I was small. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was small. I was a short, small kid.
You were short too?
Oh, I didn't grow until I got out of high school.
No, that's like my Uncle Andy. He didn't grow.
Yeah, I didn't grow till after I was out of high school before I grew. When I graduated high school, my high school graduation picture looks like an 8th grader. Looks like 8th grade. And my sister used to always tease me. It used to make me so upset because she's 2 years younger than me.
And she was taller than you?
She was taller than me, and she used to always introduce her to her friends as my little brother. This is my little brother, Stanley.
That must have been embarrassing.
Oh, goodness. Very funny, Lori. You know, because I used to have to take her to track practice. Because, I could drive. I could drive, so. She was a track star. Mm-hmm. And I had to take her to track practice every day. It was a pain in the neck. And she would just exploit that because, of course, I didn't have any choice. Will you come on? You don't have to take me. You just explain to mom and dad why I didn't go to track. She would do that kind of stuff. And then you get there. Yes, my little brother dropped me off. Bye, Stanley. It's just, oh, goodness. I'm telling you.
Oh, siblings.
Siblings. Bless their hearts. All right, well, let's take our first break. And then we'll be right back. It's Morning Talk. I'm here with Cleo Duke-Wright and a Talk champion. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Independent thinkers are Puerto Rican, Mexican, Peruvian, Indian, Bosnian, Italian, Irish, Jamaican, African American, European, straight, gay, Nigerian, transgender, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, short, tall, skinny, rich, poor, happy, sad. Some of us hold a PhD and others a GED. And though we may be Democrats, Republicans, or members of the Working Families Party, we all have escaped the plantation of party politics and become independent thinkers because we as individuals are more than a party. You see, independent thinkers come from all walks of life. And the one thing we all have in common is that we love, live, laugh, and learn in the city of Hartford. We are the constituents, and the government of Hartford belongs to us. My name is J. Stan McCauley. I'm an independent thinker, and I approve this message because it's time to stop towing the party line and vote for a candidate you can trust. You too can escape the plantation of party politics if you have the courage to free your political mind.
Hi, so my name is Nelky Maldonado.
My name is Ramon L. Arroyo.
And we know that Hartford Parent University provides good services and resources to parents in our communities, which are greatly needed because a lot of times our parents, they don't know where to go, how to get information, and being part of this program is essential to them in being successful in their children's education.
And I think that parents should get involved in their kids' education because it's very important. Education is, I always believe, is a success in life. If you got a good education, you can be very successful.
So we encourage our parents to please come join the program, ask lots of questions, and I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed.
Hartford Parent University. You know, they're still around. Check them out. Check them out. Empowering parents to make a difference in their children's lives. Yeah. Check them out online, hartfordparentuniversity.org. Little feedback there.
Hi,
My name's J.C. McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and
Well,
you're
you're watching
watching AccessTV.org.
Oh, yeah. Bill Costin says, this is my little brother Stanley.
I want to tell you what happened last Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get into really the house conversation again, but I went through trauma.
Still looking for...
But this was. I don't even know who I am. Am I a little child or am I a grown-up person? Now I took with me Saturday my employer because she's kind of on the protective side. No, Cleo, I'm going. Her son had a 2:00. I said, that's all right. She says, no, I'm going to change things. And she came to where I was going to look at this condo. And my real estate person came and looked at the condo, and I had sent her all the houses that people had told me about, plus the house that you sent me. Okay? So she gets out of the car. I say, I'm just looking for a house. That's all I want. I don't want no controversy. I don't want any controversy. So she gets out of the car, and she's looking strange at us because my employer got there first. So, right after I did. So she's looking at her, who is this person? Who is this man? So I started just talking about the house. I'm just thinking about the house. And so they introduced each other. So I said, oh, I'm sorry. And I introduced them. Well, we go into this condo. And then someone's coming out of the condo who was in a Mercedes Benz. So I said, oh my God. I said, I don't have this house. But I'm going into the house. It was beautiful. We had to take off our shoes and put on the little things that we have to do in here. And it was so clean. It didn't even look lived in. It was clean. That was a very uncomfortable. I didn't want to touch anything. And we went all around the house and, oh, Cleo, no, this won't do for Willie. And, oh, Cleo, oh, those kids. And so they started talking with each other. And I was totally out of the conversation at all. And I'm saying, what are they doing? I'm trying to buy a house, not them. And they kept, it was almost to me, like a competition. And by the time I got out of the house and those two, I felt, and the real estate person said, if you want another real estate person, that's all right, And I'm not even thinking about I'm not even thinking that way. I'm just thinking I want a house, I want an apartment, I want something, that suits me. I don't want to get anything too difficult for me, but it seems like a single house, a little one, would be all right. But then it got to be, to me, it might not be, I'm too old. And, then they talked to their friends, and one of their friends said, my mother got a house and she had 5 rooms and all of a sudden, and then she got dementia. I said, okay, now I'm going to get dementia. So
now you're too old to buy a house.
I'm too old. And now, and I said, well, I'll just look for condominiums, and, say, look for condominiums, Cleo, with some services. And so in case this and that happens and all of that, and now I'm saying, oh my God. And then they talked about going into, what do you call it? Apartment where you can go to the dining room, or you could cook yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they call it. So I'm feeling older and older and more incapable, and I'm scared to call her the real estate person, because she seemed to be upset, and the other person is trying to find me a place, So, and I appreciate all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate all of it, and I love them both. But it was just too much. I didn't know whether I should buy something or not, because I might get dementia any minute. And I said, and I don't want to go into a senior housing. I don't want to go into that. I mean, I worked with seniors for years,
Mm-hmm.
And we get kind of argumentative. We get kind of different when you're seniors and complain a lot. So I said, nah, not yet. I don't want to go there yet. I want to be someplace where there's a variety of different kinds of people and children. I want to go in a community, a regular community,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, I found that little house, and I was really nervous to send it to anybody. I just kept looking at it. I don't know what, because a real estate person said, oh, she sends me this house, she sends me that house. I don't really know what she wants, and I look for her every day, and I'm saying, did I hurt her feelings? Because she told me to look for. I was totally confused and not knowing what to. I was, whew. And so finally yesterday, I sent my real estate person a picture of a house, and I haven't gotten any word from her back yet, but it is really, now I'm scared. Now I said, now it's all about them and not about me. Whichever direction that I go, I have a right to go in.
Absolutely.
Because I'm looking for something. I don't know what I'm looking for exactly, but I'm depending on you to be the expert to say, well, this is this or this is that. But so I just wanted to say that to you. No, I haven't found any place yet, and I'm so frustrated.
Well, I wouldn't. If you have a mind to buy a house, and you have the resources to purchase the house, I don't see why anybody would try to dissuade someone from purchasing it. I mean, age. If you want to take care of a house, and I think a nice small house would be easy to maintain. You got a little lawn, and by the time you pay condo fees, you can hire someone from the neighborhood.
That's what I'm saying.
To come and cut the lawn, take the trash up once a week if you need to, and shovel your walkway. Because condo fees are not cheap.
No.
Condo fees are expensive. And, they go up. They never come down. But they go up, and they go up, and they go up. If you need something, new roof, new boiler, new paint in the hallway, new carpet, new windows, all that goes, splits among the members of the condo. So, it's not necessarily cheaper, at least in my mind. But did you reach out to there was one of our viewers. I think she was watching the program.
Well, that was a rent to buy.
Yeah.
And so it was told to me that rent to buys are just scams. So I said, they're scams. They're just scams. Because that was nice because it was a low rent. And because unless you have a guarantee or contract, I don't know how those work, but they told me it was a scam. So I didn't look any further in that.
I've never heard that. But if my first reaction would be to call an attorney and ask them what is necessary to secure for me a house if I'm renting to buy, what kind of paperwork to make it legally binding, that I have first option to buy before someone else, kind of a thing.
Well, I Googled it. I Googled rent to buy, and it really didn't have that much of a favor toward that. I think it's all in the land and in the owners, on the sort of owner's side, and unless you're really, because he could go up on the price he wants for the house unless he has in the contract that this is what the house will be, and then rent to buy is not forever. Rent to buy is like for a year.
That's reasonable. A year, 2 years.
Or 2 years. And after that point, you should have accumulated, because part of that, what you're putting in, that rent is going to the down payment.
Oh.
So you should have accumulated and saved enough money to buy the house.
Now, see, I would not have processed it that way. In my mind, rent to buy means you're renting until you are ready to purchase. Like, you may not be ready to buy right now, but if I want to sell a house, but the house isn't selling, so let me give the person an option to rent here, and if they like it, they'll have first option to purchase it. Now, if I get a buyer within the next,
2 years.
2 years or so, then I would come and I say, look, I got somebody who wants to buy the house. I'm gonna give you first option. If you don't, then when the contract is up, or I would say that I'll give you 3 months notice if the house sells, something like that. But I wouldn't think that your rent is going toward the down payment.
Well,
in my mind,
I don't know if in this house, because it could go either way. I don't know if it's sometimes part of the rent goes to the down payment. So this rent that you sent me was so low that I can't imagine that would be the case. But those were the things that they mentioned, but they didn't say anything really positive toward it. It's what the seller could do to you.
Oh, okay.
More than this is the way.
That's interesting. Well, you know what? We have to get somebody in here to talk to us a little bit about renting and buying and selling. A realtor. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
But I appreciate the person who sent the house. Thank you very much for thinking about me.
Hi, my name is Marcia Garcia. I am from Brazil. iHappy HPU, iHappy Families de Universidade de Hartford Community. Estou muito feliz em participar. É muito importante o engajamento dos padres e madres nas escolas de Hartford com seus ninhos, my children. I love Happy Family e HPU. Thank you. Gracias. Obrigado.
Every bad political decision is made by a politician elected to office. So if you think your vote doesn't matter, just remember this. There are people sitting with politicians in a back room making deals about your future, making policies about your children, making decisions about your neighborhood. To them, you are just a vote. You are not their charity. You are not their cause. You are just a vote. Elections have consequences, and if you don't vote, you are actually voting to keep these people in power to work against you. Now, more than ever, you need to make your vote count. Declare your independence from the plantation of party politics and free your political mind.
Hi,
My name's J.C. McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
All right, my friends, welcome back. Morning Talk. Yeah, they fixed that glass. That was a while back. Someone had thrown something at that glass.
Where is that?
This is right downtown by the old State House.
Oh yes,
See
I
the old
remember when
State
that
House
glass
over
was-
on the side?
Yes,
with the
I remember
guys
when
with
that was.
backpacks?
Yeah, huh?
There's the Stegosaurus. That's at the mall of City Hall. In between City Hall and the Wadsworth Athenaeum. And that's they have nice little things, events out there. So there's some concerts out there. I think First Fridays were held out there too, concerts. And snow leaves on the trees there though. That's taken in the winter time. That shot.
Remember when we used to have the concerts on Constitution Plaza,
Oh yeah.
and we used to sit there? That was so nice. I was only a teenager at the time. My aunt used to take me to those concerts on Constitution Plaza. You know, we used to have some beautiful things. I guess we still have beautiful
We
things.
still do.
I just don't recognize it.
You have to get out and visit these things. There's because you don't go to the Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz concert.
No, I still have not been there.
That is a phenomenal, fabulous event. I look forward to it every year. I can't wait till it comes. And now they gave out a hold the date. At least I saw it yesterday for this year's Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz, and I can't wait. It's July, I think the 13th, 14th, 15th.
Well, if I'm in my new place, I'll be going. Maybe I'll be downtown. Who knows?
Right, but I mean, people come here. They come to Hartford from all over the region, and some from other places in the world. But it's a great 3 days of jazz, and it's free. Right downtown. It's like a family reunion. It's a Hartford family reunion.
I promised I would go last year. I didn't get there. I promised the year before. I didn't get there. I'm promising again. I don't know.
And this year she's going to get there. We're going to go get her, drag her here.
Get down to there, yes. Yeah.
We had fun. Now, last year, the Alliance
that's right.
took a day, and we had the members of the Alliance. A lot of people didn't show up, but it was still fun. I'd say maybe about 5 or 6 people came that were there at one time. People dropped in and out, but I mean, it was nice. You know what I'm also looking forward to? I hope they do this again. The Taste of Hartford.
Oh, that was
up
really nice.
That now I could have sit out there all day.
Oh,
wasn't that nice?
Yeah, it was so nice. Yes, I really loved that.
The music, the aroma of the food, and then there was a nice breeze.
To each other. Yes.
People just conversating.
Yeah.
Really, really nice time.
It was.
Nice time.
I wouldn't mind going through that again.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get a table again and we'll just sit out there. That's one nice way to go. Just get a table and sit out there under the tent. And watch the people. That's right. And talk. Yeah.
Yes, that would be very nice. I love that.
Did you like where we were?
Oh, yes.
I thought that was the best seat in the house.
Because you could see the whole plaza.
Absolutely.
You could see the whole plaza. You could see, you couldn't see on the other side, but you could see way down. It was very nice. It's a beautiful place to be.
Yeah.
And we were near the people who set up everything.
Yes.
Who had to go and set up things, and so we heard their little arguments and stuff. And that was that.
That was kind of interesting because the behind the scenes, here's this huge operation. They had chairs, extra tents. I mean, they were ready for anything.
Yes.
I need a tent over here. Oh, okay. They get the chairs together and the little things. They roll out. Next thing you know, boom, there's a tent.
And their language wasn't too cool. I mean.
Yeah, a little spicy on the epithets.
And the language came, the bad language came out of the women. The men weren't. The men were calm and they were doing their thing. And if she didn't like it, or the words would start flowing. And I'm saying there was a day when they would not have done that in public.
Well, see, I'm still very old-fashioned from what I understand. And so I'm a prude. And I'm old-fashioned. But in my mind, women don't cuss.
Absolutely.
But I know that's not true.
No, that's not true.
But I come out of that era, my mother.
And women didn't sit in
bars. You never touch a woman's purse.
Yes.
If it falls on the ground, leave it there. There's no reason that you should ever touch a woman's purse. I mean, that was not beat into me, but drummed into my mind. Women don't cuss. You never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, strike a woman or a female.
My dad said, a lady always has her purse. Wherever you go, you have your pocketbook with you. Mm-hmm. You don't drink. You could drink, but you can't get drunk. And
sip, don't guzzle.
Yes, we were driving. My dad was driving. We saw this intoxicated woman, and my father said, "No, that is a horrible thing to see a woman drunk, to see a woman intoxicated. That is terrible, because it shines on. It sort of reflects on everybody and everything around her, because I didn't understand what he was saying, but an intoxicated woman is a terrible thing. That's what he used to say.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he didn't like anybody intoxicated. He didn't have liquor in his house except for Old Crow. I don't even see that anymore. Do you see that anymore?
Old Crow?
He had a half a pint of Old Crow.
Never heard of Old Crow.
He kept on it's some kind of whiskey. He kept on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got a cold, he put this Old Crow in a little cup. He set fire to it to burn all the alcohol out. This is like the worst taste in the world. And then he made you drink it. If you had a bad cold, you know.
I see he used it as an elixir.
Yeah, I never.
A cough medicine, some sort of cold remedy.
Yeah, I've never seen my father drink. His father was a drinker, and he used to tell us stories about his father and drinking and eating sauerkraut and then throwing it up, and he had to clean it up and all that stuff. And he just never, you could drink, but don't get drunk. So
there it is. Is that it? That's
Old Crow.
Old Crow.
Is that even in the stores anymore?
I guess so. It's
Old Crow.
I
don't even know how it tastes. I can get my
Old Crow. Yeah, that's Old Crow. It's $23 for 1.7 liters. Add to cart. Is it what is this? Bourbon whiskey.
It's
Kentucky straight. Bourbon whiskey. How about that?
You know, I should get that. I'll get one of those for my brother. He would get an Old Crow. It's not advertised. I've never even seen it advertised.
Here's a sign on Amazon. Old Crow brand straight whiskey rye bourbon. Old Crow. That's quite the picture there, huh? Looks like something that's gonna put you out. Copyright 1935. The American. What is this? I can't see it from here. The American Medicinal Spirits Corporation. Louisville, Kentucky. Medicinal.
Wow.
It's a medicinal whiskey. We'll only use this for medicinal purposes.
You know, and if that was advertised like that, my father probably believed it.
Yeah, the old look, and it even looks shady because the crow is like he's looking at you with one eye. Trust me, this is a good medicine for you. The medicine man's coming.
When the man goes around in the wagon with the horses and he's making his speech in the westerns, you know, buy this, it'll cure anything and everything.
Cure whatever ails you. That was the early days of the pharmacies. You know, now we have pharmaceutical industrial complex making stuff to give you, and they're gonna heal you or kill you, one or the other.
Absolutely.
Making money off of your. They're not trying to cure you. They're trying to make the symptoms go away, but not what's sick. You know, because you can make money off of medicating the symptoms. The medicinal whiskey. I like that there. Medicinal whiskey. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Hi,
My name's J.C. McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
All right, welcome back. Morning Talk. I'm here with Cleo Duke-Wright, Talk Champion. And we're just having our end of the week conversation. Kind of dial it back some. So much going on. There's plenty of controversy going on. Plenty of scuttlebutt. All kinds of stuff. But, sometimes it's nice not to even talk about that stuff.
Sometimes it is. Turn off the TV, close the newspaper.
Yep.
Pick up a nice book. Of course, me, I like love stories and comedies. Pick up something, or I read scripture, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I turned off the TV this week. I just couldn't stand it. So I didn't think that we had in the past so much violence. But when my husband was looking at those old movies, there was just as much violence.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
There was just as much violence, just as much horrible. So I just said no.
Annie, Get Your Gun. That was a play or a TV show?
No, that was a play.
A play, yeah. Annie, Get Your Gun.
Yeah.
Annie, Get Your Gun. Gun Smoke. Have Gun Will Travel. Every program on television starred the gun. And the gun is still the leading character in most action movies.
Even back in the 30s. Mm-hmm. 30s, it was still lots
Gangster
of guns.
Movies.
Yeah. All those. Oh. I said, I am just getting so sick of this. So sick of it. They ought to call each and every movie, like you said, The Gun.
Right.
Starring the Gun.
The Gun is a star of every motion picture. Everyone's got a gun. And, for all the talk about guns, and politicians love to talk about guns because it's one of those problems that you can pontificate about.
You can't solve it.
You can't solve it. They know it's not going anywhere.
Mm-mm.
But it always makes for good press to talk about it, and it gives you that. It's a bulletproof, if I could use the phrase. It's a bulletproof topic that always makes you to look good.
You're talking about gun control.
Right.
And there's no such thing in the United States of America for gun control.
No.
Because the people you don't want to have guns, those are the ones that are going to have it. And the people who are citizens that go to work every day and do their thing are going to get shot because they don't have guns. They don't have any guns. They get shot.
Yeah, personal protection. Meanwhile, the United States, of course, is the largest arms dealer on the planet. And they sell weapons systems and weapons
around the world,
all over the world. So the first you come on the air talking about the guns, weapons, munitions, handheld munitions, tanks, and aircraft that the Ukrainians want to buy, and then the next story is how we need to limit guns in the United States, right. And there's too much violence.
And what was it on TV? Was it? No, it wasn't. It was China. Well, one country that said, I'll send these tanks if the United States sends some tanks.
Oh, Germany,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, gosh, oh my gosh.
Right, we need tank. If we had a tank, then we could be in a better position to defend ourselves and give that we don't want people coming over. But they've been coming over. This war's been going on for a long time.
Yes.
Several years. This isn't just start. But.
And after it's over, we'll just be waiting for the next war.
Right.
It'll just be the next war. And the next war, and the next war. And wars don't solve problems.
Wars are good business.
Good business.
Good business. Lots of money in warfare. And the beauty about war is that the money is guaranteed from government. Either the taxes or, because governments, of course, take their money from the citizens. And then they redistribute that money. So if you were in a military industrial complex, the money is guaranteed. And of course, there's no end of it. So you need to become an industrial complex. So you could become the education industrial complex, nonprofit industrial complex.
Is there any such thing as that?
Oh yeah, the nonprofits are the nonprofits that get their money from the state or the city become an industry unto themselves.
Oh,
because the money just keeps flowing in. Now they need to tie that money to a result.
And you need to either do or pretend that you're doing something.
One of the tricks in nonprofits is the clipboard. Because you got to show people are coming through. So every event you have, you get a clipboard and have people sign in. Yes. Then when you do your annual reports, you pull out all those names. Now, those people may not necessarily have been in the program.
When I ran the soup kitchen, everybody had to sign in.
Mm-hmm.
Every day you signed in for lunch. And so, and then they changed it to, you sign in, you had to put your age, your race, your this, all this information. And so, I'm saying, why do they have to, see, I didn't understand how they got their money at first. Why do they have to do that? People why do you want to know my race? All I want to do is eat lunch. Why are you asking me this? So a lot of people wouldn't do it, or they say other and go on, and then you had to do these reports. How many? This is how many blacks? How many whites? How many Hispanics? How many others, Asian, all that stuff. So that's how they sort of.
It might not be so bad if the gathering of the data was used to figure out how effective we're being, or to better design a fix, is used to drive funding.
Yeah.
So see, everything has become a matter of profit, funding, money, revenue. Everything is revenue driven as opposed to people driven. People.
Well, that's why I think it goes. It's driven by people in the beginning.
Yes.
People have, they want to help, so they form these organizations like Center City churches. All those churches downtown, got together. Well, they got together for certain reasons, but one of the to help the people and to send the people to a specific place so they wouldn't annoy them every day
at the church.
The church.
All these needy people are getting on our nerves. We could just send them somewhere,
and then would give them the money. Would give Center City Church, that organization, the money, and then when the people come, we'll just give them a slip and sign it and tell them to go here, and they wouldn't. So that's what they did. That's how Center City churches came about, in my estimation. And but the people in the churches, they were really, they really loved this. They really were dedicated to this. Now the other folks, what do you call it? The people who ran the organization, they were of a different persuasion. They didn't feel the same way the people in the churches felt when they gave to the organization. They were so proud to be part of the organization. I used to just love their energy, but then I'd have to see the other side, and it would upset me a little bit. But the people were really they were really gung-ho. They really loved it. And each church was designated to a certain program, and that was, I think Center Church had the soup kitchen and was under, and those people really did really a wonderful job.
Mm-hmm.
But their giving and their caring, that comes out, after you do that, then the profits of what you did go somewhere else, and their thinking is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know that for years, or maybe you would never know it. I don't know.
Yeah, is it mission driven is good, but at some point what happens is
you're building a machine.
Yeah.
You're building a machine.
Once it becomes a machine must eat. It must be fueled.
Absolutely.
And
so the people don't come first, and it happens every time. Now, I think it happens with all organizations, unless they have a real powerful leader. It's gonna happen.
You have to be intentional on serving people and people focused.
Yes.
Otherwise, it becomes a bureaucracy, a machine that then becomes it eats itself.
Yes.
It needs fuel. So then the people who work there need it's their job now, and now they need the money. So how can we get money in here, because we got these people we got to pay. It becomes you're paying the people who run the organization. They become more important than the service.
And then you eliminate breakfast.
Right, because we could save money.
Then you eliminate breakfast because you got to pay the people. I mean,
right. We could save money if we get rid of breakfast. So we cut down the quality of food at the end. For Sunday, we don't have to serve steak and turkey every day. Why don't we do something like a spaghetti? Spaghetti, you can go the distance. It's hot, it's warm, and after all, this is not a restaurant.
Let's get this up. So let's stop this so these people who want to give us money could be happy, and we'll get the money, and these people who have been doing it for years and count on it just to set them down, and they don't have to do anything. We'll give these people that. So.
Well, the grand narrative, the good book, I call it the grand narrative, the life-changing, life-giving, everlasting word of the Most High God, the Bible. It's, the love of money is the root of all evil. And I guess one could say that when money becomes the objective and the focus, evil follows.
Evil follows.
And
that's right.
It's no longer people-centered and life-affirming. Does it add value to life? And does it help human beings? And oftentimes that's not the case. Money becomes the issue. How much money can we make? How much money can we save? And how can I get paid more? It's not how can I do better service? How many kids can we feed? How many people can we help? And then the money becomes irrelevant. If I really want to help somebody, all I have to do is just help them. I never forget Eddie Perez. He and I were sitting next to each other at some sort of debate. He was running for mayor at the time. And so it must have been around 2007 because I was running against him. And so we were sitting together, and he said, I'll never forget this. It was at a church function on Windsor Street. Mm-hmm. And we, we're all there. Everyone had an opportunity to speak. And so somebody was up. They were talking about programs, what we need, this, that, and the third. And the mayor said, because he was the mayor at the time, I call him still Mr. Mayor because he was once the mayor. That's the title that goes to former mayors. So he says, this city doesn't need another program. And they were talking about youth, kids. Mm-hmm. So the city does not need another program. When it needs the people who care.
Absolutely.
He says if all the people in all these churches would just go to a high school, it doesn't matter which one, anyone, go to any school in the city. Just go and talk to the principal and say, I want to volunteer to help in any way you need. This problem would go away in very short order. I'm paraphrasing. And that's all it takes. It takes people that care. Mm-hmm. The more you need programs, ultimately, the less there are people who really care. Which is why.
Because you hire them, they need a job.
We need a program.
Yep. Why?
So are we interested in helping people, or are we interested in profiting off of helping people?
Well,
that's not to say, right, and that's not to say that we're ignorant of the fact that things require resource and money, but money ought not be the driving force. Mm-mm. And ultimately, it becomes that if you don't guard against it. Yeah.
I saw it. If anyone's, if the people that I worked for or worked with are listening to this program today, mm-hmm. Some of them are probably outraged that I said the things that I said. But I feel that I experienced it. I saw it. I saw going in this great love for the organization that mm-hmm. I was working for, and then to see how it turned out in 16 and a half years, 17 years, how then I kept getting clearer and clearer. I didn't understand, but that fogginess
quite clear now.
Pretty clear now what it was all about. Pretty clear.
It would be interesting to do a undercover behind the scenes look at the wonderful world of nonprofits. What really drives the nonprofit world? What really drives?
And why do churches want to be a 501c3? Why? It's like ick. So many people have asked, Cleo, can you help me? I said, absolutely not.
I'm not a big fan of five. I like
Absolutely.
LLCs or just straight out a company. You don't the what you gain, what you think you gain in being tax free.
You're losing a lot.
You give up everything to gain minimal. And I guess people think that if they have a 501c3, somehow magically people just gonna start giving them money. People could give you money anytime they want if they believe in what you do. You don't have to be a nonprofit to get money.
No.
If folk believe, if what you're doing is that important and mission driven, and the passion is there, the person who funds those kinds of things will see it and fund you.
That's what I think.
There's other ways for rich people to save money and do tax stuff. But if they're gonna really fund you, they'll fund you because they believe in what you're doing. And then it becomes people driven again.
People driven. Caring about who you're serving.
Right.
Caring about who you're serving. Not caring about, the money is the bottom the money is the bottom line, Because I did try that. We started because I was called in and they said to me, we're gonna close the soup kitchen because it doesn't make any money. What soup kitchen makes money? I don't know.
It's a soup kitchen. We're not here to make money. It costs us to do the work we do because that's what we do. We're not trying to make money. We're trying to help people. But you're not making any money.
Yeah, you're in other words, I felt that we were a total drain on them. So what did? We started a cafe. We started a culinary program. We catered. We did all of these things. all these things, and we made money. But the money did us no good, and we didn't even know what they did with the money. We didn't know. We thought we were helping our program. It didn't help our program. It didn't do anything. So I was, and then when you look in the annual report, it wasn't even there. There was nothing that we did that was in the annual report that says, hey, look at what they've done. They're trying to help themselves. Nothing. We saw nothing. So when I asked, well, where's the money? Oh my God, you would think that I had just stabbed them to death.
You poked a hornet's nest with that question, because now comes the accountability. But they
didn't have to be accountable to me because I worked for them. They didn't have to be accountable to me for
But you
anything.
asked the question, and it's funny how certain questions make people uncomfortable, because now all of a sudden, what if she asks to see the books, or what if someone else asks to see the books?
They never even brought it up at a meeting, and nothing. Like, and we made thousands of dollars, and nothing.
Well,
and it came out of those people that we feed every day that cared about that soup kitchen.
Well, unfortunately, what happens is people. Most of these things, as you mentioned, start out with pure intent, and then money comes along and starts to corrupt the whole process, and that's always a sad ending to the
when they took away
the undertaking,
the holiday, when they took away the special holidays are special for people, and so I tried to make it so if you were going to your cookout at a friend's house, you'd be on the grill, somebody else would be doing this, everybody would be doing something, and at the end the table would be filled, and then everybody sits down and eat and have a good time. But when they took that away, when they took the participation of the participants a holiday away from them and gave it to a bunch of lawyers, I was infuriated. They didn't even know what they were doing. But the people knew. And the people asked the question, Cleo, but I'm supposed to be in the grill. Well, Cleo, this year I'm supposed to be in the kitchen, and we're supposed to be doing this. Cleo, we're supposed to be doing that, blah, 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 blah. And they had to be sick. They sat them down and handed them a plate of food.
Well, see, unfortunately, in times, what happens, as we've said, well, we're out of time, Miss Cleo.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
We should have probably been on time before I made that comment.
All right, my friends. We'll see you next time on Morning Talk. And join us Monday. We'll have a fabulous guest from somewhere. I don't know where, but tune in, and I'm sure it'll be a great conversation. We'll see you all next time. Miss Cleo, thanks for coming in, as always.
You're welcome.
And I will see you next time. All right, my friends, you all have a great rest of your day and have a fabulous weekend.
My name is J. Stan McCauley, and I do business as Light Source Productions. I provide professional services in the area of strategic video communications. First, what we do is we help you craft your message using what I call the rule of the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why. We do event documentation, content acquisition, full-scale productions, editing, and of course distribution through our social media television network. And with social media, video is more important now than it has ever been. Whether you're talking big business, small business, nonprofit, church, or just an individual. Let's say you plan you're planning an event, a wedding, whatever the case may be. But let's say a big event, but no video. And you spent all this time, all these hours to put this event on, and maybe 100, 200 people attend the event. But more important than that is that thousands could attend by watching it on social media. But of course, you don't think about this until after the event is over. You can't afford not to capture it for social media. And despite what people think, I am affordable. Give me a call. Let's plan your next video project and share it with the world on my social media television network. I promise you that you will have the attention of one person, me.